What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the next video on learning Python. My name is QD Yazdani and you guys watching my channel Coraiwood. Alright, so in this video we're gonna talk about the scope and lifetime of variables. So we're gonna talk about the scope and lifetime. Please subscribe Coraiwood. As always, our programming videos will continue. At Coraiwood, we are committed to bring you the best programming videos. If you like my videos, please subscribe my channel. Click the bell icon to stay updated with my new videos. Alright, so what's the scope? Scope in the and lifetime of variables. The first one is that we're gonna talk in the functions has two scope. The first one is the local variables and the second one is global variables. So what's a global variable? Global variables have a global scope and it is defined outside the functions. So if you guys have a, say for example, function ABC, and whatever you guys define here, say you guys, whatever you guys define is inside the local, but whatever you guys are define outside, say for example you guys design 10, this is sits outside the function, and you guys, if you guys come here and put it, say for example b is equal to 5, now this b resides inside this but this b is local to b. So if you guys have another function is cd, for example, then you guys can call this b here because this b is just local to the ABC. You guys, by all means, you guys can bring a here and you guys can use any function here. Say if you guys have another function, for example, it sits here and that's xyz, for example. So now in these three functions you guys can use a, because this a has a global variables and a is not bound or defined in any of these functions. So you guys can use a b in this one, you guys can use a b in this one, but you guys, the only time you guys see this you can use b is the abc function, but you guys can use it in this too. But you guys can, by all means, you guys can use a because a is global. That's what it says, global variables have global scope. It means it's not bound or it's not defined in any specific function. It's outside and it's like a open wild. You guys can use it anytime you guys want. So it's a lot, this one is a lot useful because if you guys making program, you guys needs to put a lot of global variables that all your function can use. But if you guys put function inside here, it means this is a local to these functions and you guys can use it. Global variables, as I said to you guys, have a global scope. A variable that is defined inside the function definition is a local variable. So the lifetime of a variable refers to the duration of its existence. The local variables is created and destroyed every time the function is executed and cannot be accessed by any code outside the function definition. These local ones inside the function have a local scope, and this a's which is outside the function have a global scope. And keep in mind, well, these local ones exist as long as this you guys execute these functions. Other than that, is the lifetime of this variable is bound by this function here. Alright, so now we begin a few functions, and we're gonna try to understand what's a local and what's global. Say for example, as I said to you guys can put a globe, or you guys can put ag. It means ag is global variable. Say for example you guys do 50, for example, and you guys gonna come here and you guys gonna create a function. For example, you guys can create a Coraio, for example. Say for example we're gonna create this one, and now we're gonna come here and say print, and we print ag. Alright, now I'm gonna create my main function, and I'm gonna put a if name, then I'm gonna put my special variables here. If name equals to main. All right, then we're gonna come here and we put our cryo here. So I'm gonna call the cryo my function. As I said to you guys can put a main, and you guys can call this cryo into main. It's up to you, but you guys can do it this way as well. Okay, so now we're gonna run our program here, and you guys gonna see that I have a 50. We're gonna put this one here. We're gonna call from another few functions. So now we're gonna copy this one few times, and we want to make sure we call these global functions in all of our say for example so we have this one cryo. We're gonna name this one wood for example, and we're gonna name this one for example federation. Now we're gonna call from all this, and we're gonna call this wood here. We're gonna call wood, and we're gonna call federation. So we call 5 functions, and we all of them we use these global variables, but in none of them we have defined this one. So if you want to run, you guys going to see that all of our functions display this one. You guys can prettify this one. So if you guys want to use this one, we put a F here, and we're gonna put a this is coming from cryo, for example cryo function, and you guys can put your variable which is AG, and we're gonna use the same template, this one here. You guys can use this one here, and if you guys want to prettify this one, this is coming from cryo, this is coming from for example wood. Okay, and this is the last one is coming from federation. All right. Alright, so we have prettified to make it more interesting for the user, and we're going to see this one. This is coming from the cryo, this is coming from wood, and this is coming from federation. Why all of this showing just because we have defined this one. This not even belongs to any of these functions, but as you guys observe here that we can call this one in any of the function inside our program, any program. So this is the lifetime of these global variables, have a global scope. So now I hope by now you guys understood what we mean by globe. But if I come here and define another function, say for example for example our you guys can put a age, our function age, func age for example. So we want to put a function's age, or an age is going to be, say for example 10 seconds, or whatever you guys want. So now this function age, for example, the function or function local, you guys can put a function func local. I'm going to change it to for you guys to I just wanted you guys to understand this one. So you guys looking here at func local, and if you copy of this for example, so now we have another function which is func local, and we're gonna put a func local. Now we have a variable, and because we have a lower here, then we're gonna put a lower here, func local. And if you guys observe here, this func local which is 10 is residing this function cryo. So if we run, we have no problem. So if you are coming from the cryo, this is coming, this is local var coming from cryo. So now this cryo have a local function, and it has a global functions. The rest of all of them have a global variable here, but these ones have a local. So there is a local coming, and there's two of them 50-50, which is coming from the global. Okay, so what happens if we gonna come now and use this for example local Coraio in any other function? So for example, if, as you guys observe here, we already know that this function func local belongs to Coraio. So how about I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna put it in the last one. I'm not defining it in the last one. I'm gonna make a little bit room here, and you guys observe here. Now I'm calling this function func local, and Python's already angry on me because it says traceback, and it says look at the line whatever 30 whatever, and Python is referring to this line here at 30 federation, because this local one's sitting here at the federation, and that's why you guys are going to see the red warning line, which Python is not happy. It says func local is not defined. It means it's not defined inside this function. But if you guys look in here, that's the 50 ones. Python have no problem, absolutely no problem with this one, because this one's already defined. You guys can, as long if you guys don't define it, it's not going to come, because Python sees this one as not local to this function. So that's the scope and lifetime of the variable. Okay, so how about if you're gonna come here and says ag, we put this ag for example, and if the ag is here, then we're gonna have our own ag. For example, we're gonna define ag, and we put it, say for example 20, and I'm gonna bring it here ag, because now ag is already defined here. We have an ag, and we are calling ag here, and this is calling our local variable, and this is called ag, and we have another ag here. So now we want to see what happens if the Python's happy or not happy. Python's not happy. It means that the ag, you guys can't put it inside here, because you guys need to put a different name. Yeah, you guys local variable ag reference before assignment. Okay, so it means that's this already here. So how about if you're gonna come here and we put it on top, for example. Now we're gonna put it here. We want to see if the Python's happy, because we have here as our global variables, and down here we have defined it again here. So we want to see if Python's okay with that. Looks like Python's okay, because this ag is 20, and here is coming from the local variable, now coming from the Coraio function, and this is coming from Coraio, which is 20. And if you guys observe here, this is 50-50. Why this is 50-50 and why this is 20, you guys don't be confused, because here this ag is 50. Here we already defined by the same name this 50 here by the same name, and if you look in here, this already, now this ages have a definition, its own definition inside the function Coraio. Inside the function Coraio, sometimes be careful, because if you guys putting the same name inside the function, you guys might be getting away from this, but it's not a good idea. You guys don't see error, but you guys look in here, there is a faint warning sign here. It means it's warning you guys that you guys already defined this one, and sometimes you got, if you guys put in this practice, this is not a very good practice, because here you guys having a global function here, you guys already defined it and put a value of 50, and you guys again put it ag is 20, but now Python sometimes gets confused. This is coming from Coraio function 20, is coming from Coraio function 10, is 20, and this 2 is 50, because this 2 is not defined inside the function. So if you're gonna put here and we put some sort of line, okay, so I'm gonna put some sort of line so you guys know which one is which. And if you're gonna come here and you guys look in here, this is coming from the Coraio, and that's 20, that's 10, because that's local, and that's already, because now this function become local, and the reason is coming from Wood and Federation, because that one still remains as a global variable. So that's the scope of the variable. You guys looking here, whatever you guys going to put it on top, because this function is not bound by anything, but as long as soon as you guys put it inside the function, then this function is going to take this function is not going to take this. But you guys looking here, there is a faint warning, because if you guys by just one small program, that should be fine. But if you guys going on a big function, then you guys going to be in trouble, because you guys can't just be in that practice. That's not a very good practice. Can put it here, for example, we can AG, you guys can put a, for example, AG, whatever you guys can define it here as well. But as soon as you guys say, for example, you guys gonna put define in the second function, this AG doesn't have a definition in the wood, but as soon as you guys gonna come here and put a definition, say for example 90, now this wood is gonna get a 90, not 50. So now we're gonna go on the wood, and the wood is 90. This is local, because now AG is local to this one, to this Corayo get 20, and now this AG is local to this one. But this AG is still global to this one. That's when you guys gonna see, say for example here, you guys gonna see 50. You guys can change this one. For example, you guys can put here hello, for example. That's our variable. We're going to put another one, variable equal to welcome, for example. Okay, you guys can use this hello. Our you guys can come here and put it here. So now you guys gonna put a hello, and you guys can use in hello in every function here, because that's our global variable. So hello here and hello here, you guys can use it by all means. That's global, and I'm gonna put it here because I'm gonna get indentation error. Looks like I'm getting indentation error there. So which line is this? Line 32. This is the line I'm getting indentation error. So if I come here and put it here, if I put it here, I think I should be okay. Okay, now should be fine. So if I run, now that's my global one. It says coming from Corayo. This is coming from Corayo. This is coming from Corayo, because we didn't change this one. But if you change this one here, it's not coming from Corayo, it's coming from wood, and this is coming from Federation. Alright, so I'm gonna run it again. So if you guys look in here, Corayo is coming from, and it's coming from wood function, is coming from Federation. And you guys can change this one here, and I'm gonna put another line here. So okay, and now I'm gonna come here and inside the Federation, I'm gonna put a hello, and I'm gonna put a define it, welcome to Federation. Okay, so now if you look in here, the last ones is we're gonna get a different one. So that's welcome, and that's a welcome, but the last one is getting welcome to Federation. Why we getting welcome to Federation? Because now we define it here. So here now this ones have a definition here, even though we put it on top. Now this has a value of the literal string, which is welcome. This is going to show you guys the welcome, and the second one, it doesn't have, there is nothing there, only the global one, and the third one is because we have defined it, it's a local. So this is the local on global variable, and that's the scope and lifetime of the variable. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.